Hello. If you want to know what rich people teach their kids, join me in this video because we are continuing the discussion of this book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and this is written by Robert Kiyosaki. Sounds interesting? Join me. Hello, welcome to Take a Step to a Better You. On this channel, I share what I know and I continue to learn. If you are new, my name is Sherifa, Nakalema. I'm a business owner here in Virginia, USA. And on this channel, I share business tips, YouTube tips, earning money online through affiliate marketing tips, motivation. And now I also discuss great books like today. This is a continuation this is actually video number 4. We are discussing this book, The Lessons Learned. And if that sounds like an interesting message, because the message is asking you to take a step to make your life better. Sounds interesting? Consider subscribing and leaving a comment and sharing my messages. Please, I have a goal here of getting to 10,000 subscribers in 2 weeks. Support my message by sharing and inviting others. I'll share the schedule for this channel at the end because I want to first continue with discussion. There are people who are just following the discussion, but I'll share at the end the schedule for this channel. And for those of you who are following me, you keep coming back. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time. You chose to be here instead of somewhere else. Now, this is video number 4, and 3 videos I've recorded. The link is in, I've made it like a playlist. It's called Lessons Learned from Robert Kiyosaki. So the link in the description is in at the end of this video. And also, if you go to the playlist, if you missed the first 3 or you missed any one of them, because I'm continuing now. The recent one, I talked about the similarities between the rich dad and the poor dad, rich dad and poor dad similarities. And this one is about their differences. I need to go faster because this is long. We have to cover 13 points that are the way these dads were different. And for the similarities, go to video number 3. Who is Robert Kiyosaki, who wrote this book? He's a self-made millionaire, entrepreneur, educator, and investor with a mission to elevate the financial well-being of humanity, starting with one life at one time, one life and one person at a time. I always read that because it's important. You need to know why he wrote this book, why he does what he does. And also I have to remind you about who rich dad is and who is poor dad is, for those of you who are starting on this video. Poor dad is Robert Kiyosaki's dad, who was very smart, very intelligent, highly educated with a PhD, and was the superintendent of education. When you see me read, that means I got it from the book. When I'm using my own words, that means it's me. So, that was poor dad, Robert Kiyosaki's dad. Who is rich dad? Rich dad was actually Mike's. There was a friend to Robert who was Mike, and this is what Mike is dad. So as the story continues, you see how Robert started learning from Mike's dad, who ends up being the rich dad. But what about him? He got out of school at age 13. From 8th grade, dropped out of school, which I don't recommend. I already said it in my other videos. That's not what I recommend, that you drop out of school. Please continue the basic education. But he became one of the wealthiest men in Hawaii. Okay, so Robert got to know this gentleman at age 9. And we're going to continue to see what he learned from him. Now, at the end of the video, by the way, I'll share how you get this audio free for 1 month. You can go listen free because it's going to take us a while to finish it. I'm still on the introduction. This is video 2, just the introduction of this book, but we're ending the introduction. So, how are these men different? Remember, the big message or the main message of this story is that poor dad struggled financially, and rich dad became one of the richest men in Hawaii. So that's the message. What were they doing different? We saw how similar they were today, how different they are. 13 points. Point number 1, the language you use. Remember, we are learning from this book what we shouldn't do or what we should do, what we shouldn't do. By comparing these two, you see the difference, how they dealt with money situations. So poor dad was saying, I cannot afford it. And rich dad was saying it's better to say, how can I afford it? Now, the way Robert elaborates in the book, he says, when you say I cannot afford it, it stops your brain. Sometimes it makes you laugh. It stops your brain from working because it's mental laziness. That's what he calls. He has these words he uses. They're interesting. It's mental laziness because, and he says his poor dad had a habit of putting his brain to sleep when it came to finances. But then the rich dad was saying, instead of saying, I cannot afford it, say, how can I afford it? But then he also notes that although he was like that, he didn't really encourage just buying anything you want. He didn't encourage that. But he said, it makes you think, how can I afford it? Assuming this is something important. And it makes your brain stronger because you are exercising it, thinking, getting creative. And he compares someone who wants to be healthy by sitting, watching TV, compare that one to compared to the one who's exercising. You are making your brain sleep. Okay? So he says proper physical exercise leads to better health, and proper mental exercise increases your chances for wealth. He's comparing the two. There is action involved. And then according to this is point number 2, according to poor dad, the rich should pay more taxes to take care of those less fortunate. Now, as I'm reading these points, I want you to think about yourself. What do you believe of these two? The way they are lining up, these points, where are you? And what do you need to change? Poor dad says the rich should pay more taxes. Rich dad says taxes punish those who produce and reward those who don't produce. That's not point number 2 on taxes. Point number 3 that makes them different. Poor dad encouraged Robert to study hard so he can find a good company to work for. He used to, that's what he wanted his son to do. But then, rich dad said, study hard so you can find a good company to buy. Poor dad says to find a good company to work for. Rich dad, a good company to buy. What about point number 4? Poor dad used to say, some of these things make me laugh. The reason I'm not rich is because I have you, kids. It's like you're talking to your children and you say, I don't have money because of you. I'm not rich because of you, children. But the rich one would say, the reason I must be rich is because I have you, children. So children are the reason to work and become rich. But this one is giving them as an excuse not to be rich. Point number 5. Poor dad didn't like talking about money. Like when you are the subject of money, like when you are having dinner, you are eating and you bring the money topic, he didn't like that. But the rich dad encouraged talking about money. Point number 6, he said, poor dad would say, play it safe, don't take risks. Rich dad would say, learn to manage risk. Number 7, our home is, that's poor dad. Our home is our largest investment and greatest asset. Rich dad would say, he believed the house is a liability and you are in trouble if your home is your largest investment. And the reason this is the point is because the home could lose value. Not all homes go up in value. That's when you have to see the home like that. Point number 8, pay bills first. That's the bigger one. But I have a point to add later about this point myself. Pay bills first And the rich dad will say, pay bills last. Pay them on their due date. That's a rich person. The other one says, pay it first. I'll explain why that statement is important for the rich person and the poor person. But the rich person is the one I want to explain. Point number 9 at the end, after I read all these points. Point number 9, poor dad believed that a company or the government, like if you work for a company or the government, should take care of you and your needs. He believed in pay raises. He believed in retirement plans, medical benefits, sick leave, vacation days, all that. And he said, according to Robert, that the idea of a job protection for life and job benefits secured more seemed to be more important to him at times than the real job itself. Maybe you understand that? That the whatever, like the idea, let me read exactly what I got. The idea of job protection for life and job benefits seemed more important at times to his poor dad than the job itself. You understand? You interpret that the way it sounds, the way you understand it. Because I may try to explain it and mess it up. And then the rich one would say he believed in total financial self-reliance. He was against entitlement mentality, which created wealth and he said let me read it again. The rich dad was against the entitlement mentality, which created weak and financially needed people. He emphasized being financially competent. Number 10, he struggled. The poor dad struggled to save a few dollars. But number 10, the rich one created investments. Remember, I mentioned it in the video, I think number 2, that savers are losers. Yes, savers are losers because of inflation. Number 11, poor dad would say this is the importance of thoughts, the effects of thoughts on you. If you are watching my videos, I emphasize thoughts. Thoughts are so important. So number 11 is the difference in the way they were using thoughts. That poor dad would say, thoughts and statements, both of them, how bad they could be, or the effect they have on you. Poor dad would say, I'll never be rich. He always said, I'll never be rich. And this actually happened. But rich dad, before he was even rich, when he was still broke, he would say, he called himself rich. In fact, he would say, I'm a rich man. And rich men don't do this. I think when they were like talking about something, whatever they were talking about, he would say, me, I'm a rich man. I don't do that. So, but he said all these things before he had the money. So that creates the opening. That's the abundance mentality. Now I'm the one talking. The abundance mentality. That's number 11. Number 12. Remember, I have my notes here. The old-fashioned way. That was number 11. Yes. Number 11 actually continues. Because the rich person, the rich dad would say that there is a difference between being poor and being broke. Being broke is temporary, but being poor is eternal. Poor or poor. This is very important. Being broke is temporary, but being poor is eternal. I'm still on number 11. That's the rich dad saying, that's his belief. And I'm hoping that's what we want to adopt. Okay? Number 12, the poor one would say, I'm not interested in money. Money doesn't matter. You know people like that? I'm not interested in money. Money doesn't matter. And then the other one would say, the rich one, money is power. Money is power. So, and then the other point, number 13, that's the last one. poor dad wanted his son, Robert, to become a professional, become a professional like an attorney or an accountant, go up to business school, do an MBA, a master's in business administration. But the rich dad would encourage Robert to understand how money works and how to have money work for him. He would say, I don't work for money, money works for me. I mentioned this before also, the lessons. So I'll rush through these, and this book, you can get it. I'm going to show you how you get that, to get this in detail. That's what I read and got out. So I said I want to mention something about 2 points from what I just read. When I said that the poor dad wanted to pay bills immediately, but the rich dad wanted to pay bills on time, on their due dates. This is actually, that was an eye opener also when not just from Robert, but from listening to people who understand finances. Because you may say, I pay my bill. It's like when you do automated bill payments, they take their money immediately, your money. Yet some bills, like people who have credit cards, they have like 3 weeks, maybe 3 weeks for the due date to come. But if it's automated, then it's going to take your money immediately. Now, assuming you're a business person like us online, we need all the cash you can get. So why give them money 3 weeks? 3 weeks is a lot of money. If the bill you are paying is like $1,000, having $1,000 for 3 more weeks is so crucial. That's why the rich people pay things when they're due. They don't pay late, but they wait, because one day will make a difference, keeping the money for 1 more day. So that's why that point I read, that the poor dad paid bills on time, believed in paying, but immediately. But rich dad would just wait and pay because the money is still working. The next point I wanted to make also about paying things on time is the mortgage, or paying off the mortgage. Because I'm just discussing for those people who believe in mortgages. My beliefs, I don't believe in mortgages. But for people who believe in mortgages or borrowing from the bank, paying off a loan, you always have to, it's like credit cards the same way. But this time I'm talking about a house. If you have a house and it has interest, it's like maybe these days it's as low as 2%, 4%. And then you have another loan somewhere that has interest of maybe 10, 12%, whatever, or you can earn money somewhere, some more than 4%. They believe that you cannot pay off your mortgage. You cannot pay off your mortgage because you are putting cash. Maybe you have a loan on a mortgage of $200,000. You go pay it off instead of using it to make you more money. So that's why they think, the rich people, that paying off mortgages early is a bad idea. For me, it's actually a religious belief. I don't believe in, although we do, here in America, it's rare to find people with paid off homes, but we don't believe in having mortgages and paying interest. It's a personal thing. So, but for someone who doesn't mind that, keep the mortgage because it's low, and then use the money to do something else. So paying off a mortgage would not be a good idea. That's me elaborating on those points. Now, I said I would set the schedule. The schedule here, the books, I review them every day, as long as you continue to watch them, except Friday. 1 p.m. USA Eastern Time, Google it. That's when the books come up. And then on Friday, I do lives. You can come and ask me a question. We chat on this same channel. Friday, 1 p.m. It's the same time we review books. On Friday, we skip. But then for those of you who watch me with other stuff I talk about, like the business tips, YouTube tips, they come on Thursdays and on Sundays. And that's it. 12:30 p.m. USA Eastern, Thursdays and Sundays. But these come 30 minutes later, the book review. So we could find a day when you have both. Okay? That's why, because I have people who are interested in the other stuff I do, but then this is just for books. That's the schedule. Now, for those who want to listen to this, even before I finish it here, if you want to start today, go, I signed up with Amazon.com, Audible. I have a link below. Go, you have it for 1 month free. But please, the title not coming up. When you click the link below in the description, it's going to take you to Audible. You have to put in your name before, put it like an account before they can allow you to get it. Then search for this title, Rich Dad Poor Dad. Start listening immediately. You'll finish before 1 month. Later, I'll arrange access to my account, Audible account. But let me see the interest here. If there are enough people interested, I'll do that. If you're not, this whole thing will stop. I'm just testing it out to see if people are interested. If you're interested, share with others. Let all come. I'll review even more books. But I'll test it for the month of Feb. If it doesn't work out, I'll go back to what I normally do. Okay? That's my video. You like it? It was a bit longer today. Because I had to cover all the differences between the dads. I didn't want to break them up. Give it a like. Don't leave before giving it a like. And don't leave before leaving me a comment. Like up, then a comment. Start always with a like. Because I get more comments than likes. The people forget. Like it, share it, invite people. This is enrichment of our minds. I'm going to bring all the great books that make our lives better. Like I always end these messages, take very good care of yourself. Take very good care of your families. Take very good care of your health. Leave a comment and like this video and share it. Take a step to a better you. Bye-bye.